tips for a home buyer during the present real estate market. Something I've run into a lot over the years when markets shift is buyers kind of seem to not really understand the market and the benefits. And biggest proponents of buying during a down market is the ability to negotiate. I tell my agents all the time, during peak markets, buyers might say things like, oh, I don't want to waste the time with this offer. It's too low and I wouldn't pay that much for it. And so the client ends up not making the offer. In a market like today, I would encourage you to make those aggressive offers because sometimes they're going to get accepted. And sometimes you're going to find a seller motivated enough to make the action happen. So we are in a more challenging market that gives the buyer the edge in negotiations. The other thing that's unique for home buyers that a lot of people just fail to grasp the concept of is that your prices are artificially lower. If you look historically at real estate prices in Tampa, and then you graph that over with interest rates, it is amazing what you see. As interest rates drop, prices rise. As interest rates rise, prices soften or drop. So we're obviously in an increased interest rate environment if you look over the past several years. So what does that mean for prices? It means they soften some. So you have so many consumers out there that say, well, you know what? I'm just going to wait until the rates drop and then the prices skyrocket. The problem with that logic is that you assume, look, no one buys a house and pays their mortgage for 30 years anymore. I mean, very few people. You're going to refinance or you're going to move before it matters. But people will make that decision and say, oh, I don't want to lock into that interest rate for 30 years. You're not really locked into it for 30 years. You're locked into it until rates drop enough for it to make sense. So you might have an artificially high payment for a year or two, but you got a really great deal on the house. If you can swing that, your equity gain is going to be greater when the market rises, and you're going to get the benefit of that equity that you wouldn't get if you waited until rates drop and buy then, because equity will then be diminished by prices rising, if that makes sense. Another thing I think a lot of buyers today don't quite grasp, obviously it's the ability to negotiate. It's also the, total costs. You've got taxes, you've got insurance. Those are things that have gone up in Florida. So the interest rates, obviously when they're lower, it softens the blow of some of those things, right? You refinance to a lower rate, even if your taxes went up or your insurance went up and you kind of, but pretty much all of that right now has risen. So that's why there's a softening of price. That's why buyers have a great opportunity to get a good deal and to negotiate and have leverage that they haven't had before. And then a year or two down the line, expectedly, I think most people believe that we'll see a lower interest rate environment. Then you take advantage of the rates then, while other people are chasing and they don't get the equity gain that you get because they're going to end up overpaying for their house or getting into a bidding war. You can have it one or two ways. You can either have the market where it's a bidding war and you're overpaying and you miss out on 17 houses, or you can have the market today where you will probably get the house that you want. If you're reasonable with your offer, you have an ability to negotiate. You're not jumping through hoops. You have ability to control the process, the terms, all of those things that you don't have the ability to control when prices are rising and the sellers are in control. So buyers right now, I think it's an incredible opportunity if you're buying for the long haul. Look, if you're trying to flip it, if you're moving in a year or two, maybe it's not the right call for you. But home buyers today have an ability to gain some considerable equity when we do see interest rates soften or property tax abolishment, which is something that has been put on the agenda in the state of Florida. Another thing I think consumers make the mistake about today is thinking of their house like a vacuum. And the best advice I can give you is to separate yourself from your home and understand that when you're selling it or when you're buying one, and understanding the relativity of the other home that you have. So here's an example. You own a home, okay, and you want to buy another one. You want to move. And you want to get $600,000 out of your house that's only worth $550,000, right? We have consumers all the time. They don't realize those two things are interconnected, because you're buying and selling in the same market. So customers will say, well, I need my house to get to 600 before I can sell it. So I can go buy my $800,000 house. So I have enough money. What do you think is going to happen to the $800,000 house? It's going to sit. It's going to sit in a vacuum. It's going to go back to the future in the DeLorean. It's going to drop in price. Oh, it's going to go up too. Proportionally, probably a comparable percentage. So if you need your house to go up 6%, what do you think the 800 is going to do? We'll give you an example. You need your 550 house to go up to 600. Your 800 is going to go to like 880. You're going to lose money. You're not really winning in that scenario. People don't seem to get that. They don't seem to grasp that. It's really all relative. If you don't get as much for your house, that means you just got to get a better deal on what you buy. And it's just that simple. So customers, if you are selling to buy, please look at that. Please understand that you're not in a vacuum. If you're waiting for your home to go up, what you're going to buy is going to go up too. You're not really winning anything except an ego. Win the ego battle. And it's not going to put any more money in your pocket. It's not going to be a better financial decision. You're going to end up paying more for the other house because you're waiting for appreciation to kick in on the home that you own. It's going to kick in on what you're buying too. One last tip that I would give home buyers, it's one of my favorite tips of all time, and consumers mess this up so much. If you're looking at a house to buy and you're trying to adjust your commute to work and you go and check it out on a Saturday at noon, it's a nice 18-minute drive from your office. You look it up on Google Maps. Oh, it's only 18 minutes from the office. That's wrong. It's not 18 minutes from the office. It's 18 minutes on a Saturday at noon. How often are you going into your office on Saturday at noon? Probably not very often. So measure your commute time during the times that you would commute. Drive the commute. See what it's like. Can you tolerate it? We've had countless customers the past few months call us and say, hey, I bought this house a year ago. Commute's brutal. Construction, more population, roads have gotten worse. Our market in our area, unfortunately, has had a massive influx of population that the infrastructure hasn't been able to handle. Now, it's great for the real estate market. I'm happy for the population growth. I'm not happy that the infrastructure isn't keeping up, and longer commute times, longer travel times, longer drive times. So please measure your commute time during times that you're going to actually commute and know what you're getting into. Had somebody not long ago say, oh yeah, I'm going to commute from Lakeland to downtown Tampa. I looked, it's 28 minutes. On most days, it's way more than that. But they did it on a Saturday at 9 a.m. when they went to look at the house. We're ready to buy it. It's only a 28-minute commute to my office. The traffic in Tampa Bay is completely different Saturday morning at 11 than it is Monday at 8 a.m.